Previously, on Rise of the Runelords. See, it all started many years ago. I remember that summer 'cause I was wearing an onion on my belt, which was the style at the time.
Bertram! What are you doing?
What?
Bertram, what are you doing here? Are you telling the onion story again?
No, I'm trying to tell the people what happened last time.
Last time had nothing to do with an onion, you old fool. Why would they care about the onion on your belt? I've told you once, I've told you a million times.
If you think you know best, you tell them the story.
I will tell them the story. It's a old fool doesn't know the difference between an onion and a turnip. Where was I? Oh, yes. After felling the Red Wizards and getting all of their questions answered, maybe some of their questions answered, okay, a couple of their questions answered, our heroes took pause to decide what their next move should be. After much debate and a message from a burning piece of parchment, they decided that they would go through the teleportation circle to Xin-Shalast and just wait there until they were ready to teleport somewhere else and regroup. That plan was thoroughly followed to the letter for as long as you would expect from this group, which is to say approximately 5 minutes. Before the group simply had to see what the scratching noise just outside was. They were then treated to a view of a sprawling city at the base of a mountain with a stern face carved into it far above them. But this was the only divergence from the plan, except the part where Tarnin snuck off on his own to follow the stairway upwards until he arrived at a giant colosseum. Moving inside, he was greeted by an almost pitch-black expanse, some green glowing shallow pools of bubbling water, and a deep voice from somewhere out of sight reminding him that half-elves are indeed made of meat. And so, returning to the group and telling them what he experienced, the group decided not to investigate and instead stick to their original plan. Oh, who are we kidding? They immediately decided to investigate the newly christened meat room.
Are you done yet? Bingo's about to start, and you know how much I hate it when
Bingo! You know that's got my number. Well, in that case, today, the adventure continues.
So when we left off, Tarnin had just exited through the doors while the rest of the group had summited the stairs. Had some conversations. Tarnin kind of gave the group a rundown of what he ran into inside, and that is where we will pick up, just outside of the doors at the top of the stairs.
What's funny is, even though I'm very in tune with Grelda, I am somehow less murderous today than I was that night.
I mean, to be fair, keep in mind, our characters have been cooped up in rooms for hours.
Mm-hmm.
A day? Half a day?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It was 10 hours. It was a long rest.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you include the previous room.
Yeah, because when it comes out, we have been trapped.
You have been inside
in rooms
for
2 days.
No,
No.
12 hours.
Hey, that's a long time.
No, I think it's been like 14 hours. I think since you went into the church in Farce, it's been about 14 hours. So that was like 2 in the morning, and it's like 2:30, so like 12 and a half hours, because I thought it was like 2:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Well, and like honestly, for Grelda, that's good. That's comforting and normal. For Sanishi, that is just a disaster waiting to happen.
If there's reasons I stepped outside. So we're gonna go talk to this meat thing, right? And by talk, I might mean kill.
I don't remember who was leading, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't Turning. Turning was talking with Geisen a little bit.
You had stepped back back through the doors. It was Icky was first, Sanishi was second, Grelda, then Geisen, then Gendrick, then Tarnin was the rear. So I would say like you had all just made your way inside. So you're just inside of the door.
Are inside
when
the
you're
door.
having this, like when we started.
Hello, meat.
So as Sanishi says that, it does echo. And as you enter, again, you can only see a little bit. And since you just entered the hallway is about 40 feet. So you can just see a little bit beyond that. You do see where it goes from well manicured stone into like packed earth.
Okay.
And then beyond that, you can see some pools of bubbling green water in the distance. And that's really the only light you can see past your dark vision. There is no light other than that, Icky, so you can really only see. Icky's leading, but you can't really see anything.
Wait, I thought, didn't he already have the goggles on?
He has the goggles, but it has uses he has to use.
Okay.
Yeah, there's charges.
Yeah,
So
charges, thank you.
So I'll go ahead and pop one of those charges.
How long does that last for? An hour or a day?
I want to say it was more than an hour, but less than a day.
Okay. So anyway, mark off another charge. That gives you dark vision, so you can see the same thing. Like you see a little bit further, but it is very firmly packed earth, and then you can see like 3 bubbling pools further in your vision, but you can't see much past the end of the hallway.
The spell is 8 hours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a subtle pause after Sanishi announces our presence with "Hello, meat," and then Turner points out, Sanishi, I was the meat. Whatever it is not the meat.
2 things can be true. I bet it's meat as well.
Cautiously investigate that on your own. I'm right here for you.
Hey, meat, what's up?
See,
how you feeling?
You're probably confusing them, and they're probably thinking that you're talking to me.
Oh. Hello, big meat.
So
I'll take
like as that you hear like echo out and then echo back, and just very lowly you can hear just the edge of your hearing, just like a rumbling sound that sounds somewhere between a growl and breathing, and it goes on for a couple of seconds, and then you hear just Tarnin, it's the same kind of laugh you heard before. You just hear low rumbling laughter, just kind of echoing and bouncing off of the wall. So you can't really place where it's coming. You know it's coming from somewhere out in the darkness, but you can't really place where. You just hear.
Tarnin says to go in.
Okay. And what are you doing, Tarnin?
He says to no one in particular other than the group, I was content with just letting you know this guy was here. If we don't want to engage, we can leave. If you're intent on destroying him, then carry on. It, him, whatever.
So as you get done, like, Sanishi's laughing as Tarnin says this. And as Tarnin gets done speaking, that voice echoing off of the walls, you hear again.
But are you going to make me wait?
Wait for what?
For you.
Who's there?
I would have thought you would be better prepared. But perhaps I overestimated you.
And then again, the whole time you just hear it echoing off of the walls.
Grelda is going to join in at this point because
Going
I
to
can't
what?
help it. She's going to join in and she'll be like, "Are you made of meat?"
We heard a recording of Curzon, right? That like holographic
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Does the voice ring any bells as far as that?
No, not at all. You don't even need to roll for that. It sounds absolutely nothing like the recording you had heard previously, or the voice you had heard through the Ascended before he died.
This is just something completely new.
Yes, this is not a voice you have heard before.
You guys know Iggy's been practicing his ventriloquism. All of a sudden you hear the voice, she's like, call, call, call.
Oh, I bet that would echo nicely in this chamber.
Okay,
No,
okay,
no.
but seriously, are you meat?
No.
A pause.
We are all made of meat. Though some morsels fill us more than others. Come, let's find out which you are.
It's
Sean, I know you try so hard with your NPCs, and I'm so sorry, but this one's name is now Big Meat, and there's nothing we can do about it.
unless it turns out that it's Mark,
He's the one it's been marked the whole time.
the dragon that made all those marks.
It's true. I mean, and there are about approximately 18 lines that were scratching at the door, theoretically, as far as we can tell.
It's been dragging marks all along.
God, you're hot.
Karna or Bill?
Yeah, I mean,
If Tarna's been in here, and remind me, do I know that he can smell me? So even if I hide in the shadows, it's not going to do me any good.
He did say last time, I can smell you meat. And when you tried to use prestidigitation to hide your smell, he laughed and said, I haven't seen that trick in millennia. That's all you know.
Okay. Carry on.
I mean, guys, I'm kind of itching, man. It's been how long since we've last fought somebody? We've been stuck in a room. In
12
room.
hours, 37
12
minutes, 15 seconds, 16
Yeah.
seconds, 17 seconds, 18. Well, you get the idea.
Going a little nuts.
It's only been 12 hours.
Yeah, I know.
Look, the last group we laid out, slaughtered, and left pieces and chunks and puddles of, well, stuff. Surely we can let this guy slide. It's only been 12 hours.
I mean, but like, as far as we know, all the information we've gathered, we got to get through this. This could possibly be the thing that the dude told us that we had to go through to get to the thing that we're trying to do.
Okay, that's fair.
Thank you.
The accordion?
Geisen casts message to Tarnan. So You brought us here. What brought you here?
Geisen was messaging me. What again? Say that again.
You're the one that brought us here. What brought you here?
Tarna messages back. I didn't bring you here. I came up here to scout out. When I got out of here, I told you what I saw, and the group decided we should push forward. I'm sorry, am I missing what you're asking?
Cast again. What drew you to this place? Why did you leave the group to come here?
That explanation deserves a lot more than a few seconds.
Cast again. Okay, fair enough.
But assuming we get out, Tarna messages Geisen now. Assuming we get out of this alive, feel free to ask.
Will do. Over beer. Ale. A message again on a different topic. Are you feeling like we should leave? Like, what's your feeling on this situation? The when we let Sanishi make our decisions, it doesn't always go well.
Fair, but sometimes she leads us in the right direction as well. Personally, we could leave this and I would be fine, but we know we need to go forward and take out Kurzog, and frankly, I don't have. The message runs out. Tarnicast message. I don't have a definite answer on whether or not we need to take this one out or not. Let's ask.
So as this the silence kind of drags on, everybody, like, you guys are talking back and forth through message, and everybody hears movement, like echoing off of the walls, just something being kind of dragged and moving along the packed earth. And then the voice does come again. Don't be shy. You've come all this way. We can at least parlay. Here. Let me welcome you. And then as he says that, the pools of glowing green water just slowly brighten. And then you see that there are 5 of them kind of spread around, and they brighten and brighten and begin to illuminate the room. And even from down the hallway, you can see that it illuminates a large domed roof, 100 feet in the air. And then it's hard to see from down in the hallway, but you can see that on the flattened earth extends well over 100 feet in front of you, and then out to both sides, almost like a Colosseum ground. And you can see a little bit on the east side, seating, kind of stadium bench seating that seems to go up and up out of your view. And you see that on the west side, there is something similar, but that seems where there would have been the seating, it seems to be covered in a rock fall and just webs, but everything is bathed in an odd green glow. And on the stamped down earth, you can see in the distance, there are a couple of curved walls that are about 10 feet tall, but just seem to be kind of randomly placed. And then directly opposite you, you do see a very large shadowed figure on the far end. It has to be at least 130, 140 feet away from you. But it is taking up most of your view from there. And you can see it move, and then it expands. And as it expands, you can see that it's actually wings coming out of it. And then the head moves up a long neck. And you can see a dragon's head with bone protruding from the top, curving along the side, and the wings kind of flow out. And the green glow continues to increase until it bathes this dragon in its glow. And even from this distance, you can pick out that this is the same dragon that you saw flying over Sandpoint. It's black, scaly skin. It's long, thin, leathery wings. It's on its skull that seems to have almost no skin on it. And it just stands tall on the opposite side and just tilts its head and looks at you.
Is your name Mark?
Also, I want out of character say, when you were describing it, the figure and then the wings and then the long neck and the head, the first thing that came to mind was the image of a Canadian goose. And so now that's what Mark looks like to me.
And see, until the long neck came along, I was picturing the Balrog. So now, Mark
is a Balrog with a goose head.
Yeah,
Hey,
Now, I was going to ask before you got done describing it, is this the dragon that we saw over Sandpoint? And you already answered that.
Yeah, it's the one that ran into the invisible wall and didn't take as much damage as we'd hoped.
Yeah, terrible. Oh, Tarnin says, it's you. We have met before. I apologize. We weren't formally introduced. I didn't recognize your voice.
Well, enter my domain and we shall speak. Meet.
Can we not speak where we are? Are you hard of hearing?
If you feel like standing there, be my guest. We can take as much time or as little as you want. It matters not to me or my lord.
Speaking of your lord, could you be specific as to which one you're serving?
The only lord that matters. My lord Curzon.
That's the one we were looking for.
He does bid you welcome.
Are you speaking with him now?
What was that? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Are you speaking with him now?
No.
Then how, please enlighten me on why you would say he's bidding us welcome now.
We've been expecting you.
Oh. And what further do you expect of us?
You've already done so much to help my lord. We don't need any more from you. My lord commends you on your perseverance and tenacity. Its like has not been seen in millennia, and it is refreshing to see Laryssians of such quality as yourselves.
oh, thank you. Next time you talk to your master, tell him he's got a very comfortable lap. Even if it's a little bit hard and cold, it's still quite comfy.
Though some of you are odder than others.
Well, since we have you, what would your interest in going to a spa with blood treatments in it? High, medium, low. Interest level.
Does this one speak for you?
She speaks with us, yes.
I see.
Point of order. Do you like beer?
You ask odd and pointless questions, but feel free to ask as many as you want.
Geraldo whispers like really loud, like a Stato whisper. Beer is never pointless, right?
Well, I don't think market research is ever pointless either. Like, I don't know what's wrong with this guy.
When did I get on Team Sanishi? I'm here now, and that's where I am.
We bonded over horses in the stable.
If you prefer to guide this conversation to something a little more direct into your purpose, please feel free.
You have already served my purpose more than any conversation could ever have. You must realize that you've lost.
I've lost many things and found several others along the way. Perhaps you could be more specific on what it is you think we lost.
Your battle, your fight. I commend you on all you've done, but for every setback you've given my lord, you've also helped him further his goal. Every goblin you've slain, every ogre you've killed, every giant, every wizard. While it might have set back my lord's plans here and there, their souls have also served to open his gate wider. So while you might have extended the time before he returns, you've also helped him return. So my lord thanks you for your help.
You're suggesting that sending you to him would be even further assistance?
There are only 3 ways that this meeting can end.
I get it.
The most likely way is that I kill you. All of you, preferably slowly. This gives my lord's minions time enough to collect the souls necessary to open his gate and allow him to re-enter Berisia. Even if you manage to defeat me, and as he speaks, you can see his wings kind of moving, and they catch the green light, and you can see that his leathery wings, inside each one of them, is a large, scarred Sahedron. A soul as powerful as mine, more than enough to finish the job of opening the gate and welcoming him back in. Thus, you would be giving him the best gift you could. And even if we simply delay with banter or battle, it is only a matter of time before his minions give him the souls he needs to open his gate.
I have a couple questions here. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Big Meat.
Glauron, if you will address me, do it correctly.
Oh,
Was it Glauron or Gyron?
Glauron.
Glaurung. Okay.
wrong.
Glory to you.
All right, Mr. Big Meat Glauron. I'm now very confused. If your master needs souls to open his doorway, and we're doing more to get him those souls than like anyone else, wouldn't he be really pissed off at you if you killed us as opposed to letting us continue doing our thing and getting his doorway open faster?
If you die, his doorway opens. If you succeed in killing me, his doorway opens. Time is the only question, the only difference. And my master has waited 10 millennia. A little longer will not bother him.
Well, my second thing here is those scars on your wings look really painful. Would you like some healing? I might be able to get that cleared up for you.
These are points of pride from my law.
Oh, it's one of those relationships. Okay. Oh, okay.
So what do you get out of this? Like, why do you serve him?
Power. It is better to be at the right hand of evil than in its path.
But you're a dragon.
A dragon smart enough to know those more powerful themselves.
I mean, we killed a dragon. You could just go, right? Like at any time, you could just go.
I could. But the young whelp you finished is hardly worth mentioning.
That's not true. There's a whole song. Would you like to hear it?
It's true. I could sing it for you. But Grelda, I've seen this type of like codependent abusive relationship before, and we're not going to be able to get like, it's going to take decades of therapy, like intensive therapy for this dragon to like get better. So
Grelda puts
it's going to be
an arm up on Sinishi's shoulder and goes, I see. Yeah. Tarnin?
Is this when Sinishi multi-classes into a psychotherapist?
Is this part of the bard class, or is this different?
When you fight enough people, you get to,
up, Bill?
learn a couple things about it.
Speaking of multiple decades of therapy, while this is going on, Tarnin messages Geisen and says, hey, tell me quickly about your polymorph spell. What's the smallest, weakest thing you can turn a dragon into, and how long does the spell last? Like turtles live a long time, right?
Is there a pit next to us?
In the meantime,
Yes.
you don't need to be a part of that.
In the meantime, the DM does not need to be involved in what's coming next.
Icky will like with all the commentary that Glauron's been making. Icky would like to just like take an extra look at himself and the group around them and see if there are any Sahedrons on them that
On your group?
yeah, on our party.
I will say you don't see any. The only Sahedron you're aware of is the one that's in Geisen's pocket. Okay.
Wait, I thought did Sinishi give hers to Geisen?
Yes.
Geisen used
Okay.
his hand to take
Yes.
it and pocketed
That's right.
it.
Yeah, like when it started throbbing, it was one of those like, whoa, I don't want this.
That's what
Okay.
she said? Sorry.
Yes, accurate.
Jason responds, it lasts an hour as long as I'm concentrating on it. As far as weakest creature, I think that's kind of debatable. DM, I assume like mouse, like is other insects? Is that a thing?
Maybe?
Squirrels?
I mean, you did a frog before,
Yeah.
and that seemed pretty. I mean, they're slippery, but what you gonna do?
But if we attack it while it's in that form, it won't take any damage once it turns back.
My intent was find something that lives a long time and start an aquarium and just let it live in its aquarium in our mansion forever. And then we didn't send a soul to Curzon and we didn't have to die either. But if it only lasts an hour, that's probably not going to work.
Unless
that-
if we hire a mage to sit in front of the aquarium and recast it. Or a couple mages, because we want overlap. I'm gonna go grab it.
Okay, so Sinishi's thinking with fire here.
Yeah, but this was all internal, so
Yeah.
because you guys are talking about therapy.
I can also put a horse cage around it, but that also only lasts an hour, but at least that I don't have to concentrate on. So that would hypothetically trap it unless it's out of it. So, I don't know.
Is the polymorph spell, is that a distance spell or a touch spell? Because we're pretty far away from this dragon right now, right?
You are pretty far away from the dragon. Yes.
Okay.
60 feet.
And yeah,
Tarn
you
messages
are,
back. Yeah, if it's only gonna last an hour, I don't know if that's gonna work. You got another suggestion how we can take him out of play?
I guess I cast message back or whatever. I mean, taking him out of play without killing him, probably not happening. Not for any substantial length of time.
While this silent conversation is happening, like, did he respond to Grelda's question?
what was Grelda's question again?
Gosh, I don't even remember. Therapy. There was a therapy question.
I'm gonna say no. That there was just silence.
How big is the hallway that we're in?
If you hold on just a moment, let me. Oh man, it's struggling. It's trying. It's trying. It's trying. Hold on. That. Fixie. You'll be able to see it. Why can't you see it? That's
Oh, he's just a little guy.
Oh yeah, he's tiny. Go up and pet him.
Don't you threaten me with a good time.
Well, does
What got done
does
to me?
the hallway that we're in seem like it would accommodate a creature his size? Like, would you be able to come through here?
Actually, I meant to
You
ask
think he
again.
might be able to squeeze? It wouldn't be easy. Put it that way.
Oh, look, he's got wiggles.
How he gets in here.
Oh, let me see if this works. Guess not. Don't know why you can't see everything. Feel free to keep going. I'm figuring out why this isn't working.
Can we see any figures other than the dragon, or is the dragon the only combatant we can see?
You guys are still a bit down in the hallway, so your vision is currently fairly limited.
And I haven't traveled this far forward yet, have I?
No.
Okay.
I feel like I'm being scared for something.
I'm just very. I don't know why it's not loading the vision for you guys.
I'm just digging on the music while you do that.
Oh yeah, no, I was same here. This sounds great.
Fuck it being like that.
Because if technology worked right every time, it would be boring.
Disagree.
And saying most people in this room wouldn't have a job.
Also disagree. All right, guys, it's going to come down to this. Are we going to leave? Are we going to go through them? Are we going to bore them to death with more questions?
Let's see what this thing's got.
How did he get into this room in the first place? Even if we leave, odds are he's just going to come down from us from the sky.
So that's one vote for bore him to death with more questions and one vote for kill him. Got it. Okay. Anyone else?
He didn't answer my marketing questions. I'm pissed at him.
Definitely. That still counts as one vote, Samichi. It's only one vote.
I have multiple personalities.
But that doesn't quite count.
Shinichi does bring up an interesting point. Would we be better off fighting him here or going outside and seeing if he follows and fighting him outside?
I don't have range, so I kind of like there being a 100-foot ceiling limit for a flying thing.
And like the last dragon we killed did try to get away.
But again,
Did not
it was
succeed.
just a little one.
I mean, Big Meat pretty much called that dragon stupid.
Mark?
Yeah, and Mark does know dragons better than we do.
Mark Big Meat. Okay, his name is Mark.
I think it was Galadriel. It was Mark Big Meat Galadriel. I
Meat.
can't remember.
Glowrung.
Glowworm.
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 I wrote it down as Glowrung. Mark Big Meat Glowrung. So, Mr. Big Meat Glowrung, were you at that dam that got blown up a couple days ago? I'm just curious, like, if these marks, are you Mark? Or did you?
The dragon formerly known as Mark?
Yeah. Like, were you, like, I know we saw you over Sandpoint, but were you there too? And were you scratching outside our door last night? You could have knocked. He hates me, doesn't he?
A little bit, but that's okay. I don't know what you're referring to.
Has it been dawn? Like what time of day?
We took a long rest.
Yeah, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon.
So we took a long rest once we got to.
We took a long rest and then Tarnan snuck off to go check this place out.
Yeah,
Yes.
we took the long rest in the room up in this mountain village.
But has it been dawn since I teleported us?
No, it has not.
Okay.
I'm paying attention to that too because I got a fun ukulele, mandolin thing.
I don't know what's happening with the visualization there, Sean, but it's not working.
Yeah, hold on. Trying to
Okay.
figure out why it's not showing it. We'll just go with that for right now. Can you see anything?
I see some like tennis
Oh,
balls.
hold on.
And a weird goose.
Goose. I'll just share this
Oh,
for right
he's
now.
so cute.
Some noodles.
I want to go poop that nose.
Oh,
Y'all.
thanks for that.
Y'all, I think we're in a pinball machine.
Yeah.
You know what?
Is Geisen a pinball wizard at least?
No, those are the
Sanishi, grab the rope out of the
boiling,
pack.
green, glowing pools of water. That's what
We're not getting any sense of anger off them, are we? We asked that last time.
We did.
anger? No.
Does anyone feel like spreading out a little bit just in case?
Well, now that I can see what we're looking at.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Just
the
kinda
mages
bunched
should take
up here,
A couple of
you know.
steps. I think the mages should take a couple of steps back into that tunnel. And Tarnan will take a few steps to the east.
And like, and as people start to position themselves strategically, it was like, so do we have an answer for like killing this guy? Because seems like from what he's saying, it's kind of a damned if we do, damned if we don't kind of scenario.
I agree with you, but do you have another solution?
Grelda shouts out, I have recently learned not to murder people. I did.
wouldn't
There was one
necessarily
person I
call
did.
him people.
Oh, how dare you?
Don't we ultimately like need to like fight and kill Kurzog anyway? So
But we could like litter the area with traps and bombs before he comes back, assuming we can find it if we have time.
I don't think that'd work for a dragon so much. Because they fly.
Okay, so again, I'm asking, kill it, walk away, bore it to death.
I want some market research answers.
Okay,
So
so let's bore it to death.
That's a bored to death. I do want to ask. My understanding at this point is we can't just walk away. Is that a valid option? Like, if we left, we would still have to come through this room to go where we're trying to go, right?
Not that
We're
I'm
not
aware of.
sure. We might have to. We might not. We do not know.
Is in the picture? It looks like he's standing in front of a doorway. Is that true?
Yes.
Can we see?
You can see a little opening behind him, or an opening.
I mean, but we're also in like a Coliseum thing, so a fighter enters from one side, a fighter enters from the other.
I mean, I guess if we don't have to fight the dragon, we could walk backwards and just bore him to death when we come back again after we explore more.
I mean, hey, Mr. Big Meat Glowrung, how do you get in this room? You look too big for the door, too big and beautiful for the door. It's flattery.
And
Flattery
beautiful.
never hurts.
Nice touch. Nice touch.
I enter and leave how I do, how I will.
That is like the most non-answer you've given me since I asked my market research question. Thanks.
DM, as we're looking at this dragon from probably 100-something feet,
Yeah, it's at least 130.
okay, is there anything we would like know about either some kind of type of dragon or just by its appearance from this distance, if we
Yeah.
happen to know anything about dragons?
If somebody wanted to give me trying to think of what kind of check that would be.
I'm not sure, but Icky should get it with advantage for having killed a dragon in the air already.
Nature, maybe? I mean, we've seen this dragon before, and we've acknowledged that.
I'm thinking either Arcana, History, or Investigation.
But we're not. Wow, what a surprise.
It's definitely sleight of hand, guys, and come on.
Tarnin rolls to go up and tickle the dragon.
Hey man, it'll work.
The snoot.
And I guess like my question would be along the lines of like, if this was let's say for the sake of example, if we knew about green dragons and we knew they were all about poison, that's kind of what the kind of information I'm maybe trying to.
All right, I guess
ascertain.
what would you want to know about the dragon? Like, what are you trying to figure out? And then I'll tell you what you would need to.
Basic capabilities. Does it breathe fire? Does it breathe something else? And if it perhaps is weak to any particular type of element.
Probably nature then.
The background music was way too dramatic for what you were asking.
Yes, that's why I turned it down.
It was kind of awesome.
And you can, even if it's just like the type of quote element it's associated with, that would.
I would say in that case, nature check.
Okay.
If anybody wanted to try it.
I'm half.
I'm sitting at a -1, so Grelda is not going to attempt to assist in this.
I'm
Grelda
throwing
looks
nature.
at the rock work around us, I guess. I don't know.
I'm doing nature with a little flash of genius for a 16.
16? All right.
Yes.
You just by looking at it, you would be able to tell that it is a black dragon. And that it is, by its size, it is definitely an adult. It's an older black dragon. And you would know that black dragons are usually associated with decay and acid and things along those lines.
Perfect. Okay. I'll relay the basics of that information just verbally out loud to the rest of the group. Like, this is some kind of elder beast. It's a black dragon. I mentioned the acid, the decay, the necrosis, or whatever it has and whatever it can do, such as just some basic facts.
So expect area of attack weapons.
Could he raise army.
You're the
of-
dragon slayers. I've never gone toe to toe
Well,
with a dragon, but just
From what we
just
remember
from
from
some
Sandpoint, when this thing loosed its breath weapon, it wasn't a tiny area. It was a pretty good sized area.
It nuked the hell out of Old Light, that's for sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Geisen says, if everybody else is all about fighting this thing, I'm with you, but I don't know that we have a clear reason to do so right now. And this seems like it's going to be a hell of a fight.
So that's 1-4 walk away. Okay. So we got one of each now.
Is the dragon wearing a sweater with a thread that's loose, perhaps?
It does not look like it. Does not appear to be wearing any clothes at all.
Nothing that I could grab and then walk away.
Watch him unravel. He'll soon be naked.
He's already naked. Somebody already having the sweater. Maybe that's why he's so angry.
You do notice he's wheezing though?
Yeah.
A slight blue sheen, maybe.
So Icky will offer is like, yeah, I don't get me wrong, I'm always happy to add another notch to the belt, but I also don't know that there's a reason that we should need to fight this guy right now. Is like, especially if he's saying that like whatever the outcome of this fight helps Kurzog, maybe the best bet for now is to walk away.
Grelda shouts out, I didn't really expect you to be this boring. Then she also moves to walk away.
Did you say it to the dragon or to?
Oh,
She said it
to the dragon
Tony.
for sure.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no. It was definitely to the dragon.
Okay.
You're too unhelpful to murder, apparently. Turn my back on him.
If we need to, we can leave him lie on the floor.
It does indicate Grelda doesn't consider him a threat, by the way. In her terms, this is an insult.
As his troop starts walking back out the door, Tarnan gives a half bounce, says, clearly they think you're just not worthy. Give my regards to Kurzog. I'm sure we'll see him or his minions soon. And then Tarnan turns and walks away.
As you guys make your way down the hallway, you just hear, I'm sure you are allowing him to say hello in person. I'll be seeing you soon.
Yeah, guys, I'm not sure we're going to be able to get away with not fighting this guy.
Right. It's going to be a matter of when. But
Yeah.
we're gonna, I'd
I
rather.
probably try to do it before Kurzog, just so Kurzog doesn't summon a dragon at the same time.
Look, we haven't found out exactly what this whole thing with Kurzog is, right? If we're sending everything we kill, sends it to Kurzog, and we have to fight them all at the same time at the end, then we let the dragon live. We go kill Kurzog and everything else we've already sent there, including the 2 snake bitches, a whole shit ton of giants, a couple of 100 goblins,
We
the
could
white-faced horrors. Say again?
We could re-kill the goblins. That sounds fun.
Well, we know where this thing lives now, so we could always come back with perhaps some resistances to acid or the type of necrosis that you saw in Sandpoint when he struck.
I can give somebody resistance to acid.
And we didn't actually come here to fight things, right? We came
Yeah,
here.
we are attuned to this
Over.
location now. I believe we kind of wanted to
Yeah.
write this down as a checkpoint more than anything, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, there's still an uncle that needs rescuing, I believe.
Okay. Let's go do that then. Wait, how much longer we have to wait, Geisen?
Well, we took a long rest already, right? Isn't that what
That's
we were?
correct.
We showed
That's
up
what you
here.
did, yeah.
So
I
then-
am, by the way, just imagining the dragon going, what just happened here? Like, what?
Well, and
It's time to hang no solicitor sign on the door. Fuck.
You know, honestly, I'm just kind of watching, like imagining our group walking in, doing the thing, and then walking out, just going, like, "What a tribe!"
well, and I think really what we're doing is with the fight with this dragon is we're crying uncle.
Ah!
Don't tell me I suck.
And that is supposed to be our priority right now, right? Not
Yeah,
random.
I also don't have any clue what was just thrown at you, Lars. I assume based on camera things, but my dog has been. What is that?
It's one of the cup holders from the table. We didn't actually
Okay. My dog has been stealing socks and then just like, mouthing them. So I did just sort of assume it was a sock.
I love it.
All right, so as you guys exit, make your way through the door. You're back out onto the mountain slope.
Well, I mean, so do we go back right away, or do we I'm just like gazing around in awe, or like do we go back to the room and head back to Uncle, or do we go down the stairs, or? Ooh.
So did we have the capability to teleport to the city or the town, I forget the name, to the west where we think the uncle is? Or do we need to try and go back to the room? I can't remember if we actually knew if we could get back to the teleport room / Wayne. Or Wayne, I guess I should say.
You know, I don't actually remember what the hell the plan was either. Somehow we were going to come here and know how to teleport back.
And so we can tell if we know Sandpoint well enough to be able to teleport there pretty reliably. If I recall correctly, the plan was to use the teleport to come out here, figure out, know it well enough to be able to teleport out here whenever we're ready to, and then bugger off back home and work on finding Uncle.
Oh, okay.
At home.
We're gonna head towards the town.
The church.
Was
to get the Dwayne.
Oh yes.
Oh right, because we want to get Dwayne back.
That's right. That's what it was. Yep. And
kid.
is there anything specific that we need to do here other than look around?
I think the main point was just being able to come back here later.
Yeah, being able to come back here in the off chance that room is something we can't return to.
I'm just imagining like a Stargate situation. We need to look around for some symbols.
Yeah.
And stuff to,
Make sure the DHD has power.
So how familiar would you say we are with this location?
With Xin-Shalast?
Yeah.
Out of the options here, I would say seen casually.
Well, there's a permanent circle here, right?
There is a permanent circle here.
So can I just choose to go to the permanent circle, and that gives me 100%?
If you go back to the room that you teleported out of, yes.
Okay. So yeah, I think we're good here if we want to head out as far as getting back.
I forgot about Dwayne. I feel bad. Yeah, let's go.
I
get
forgive
Dwayne.
you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
What just happened?
I think
Okay.
I think it was a redemption arc. Is what happened.
Sure.
All right, let's go get Dwayne.
Let's stay right here at the end of the hallway where we know we're covered and we can listen for the sound of beating wings. And Geisen, take your time, do your thing.
Well, let's go back in the room. We can close that big heavy door that the thing scratched at last night and couldn't get into.
Which door is smaller, Sean?
What was that?
Which door is smaller? The one at the entrance of the tunnel we're currently in, or the one that next to the room that we slept in?
The one next to the room you slept in. That's
Okay,
probably
let's go.
that's probably half the size of this one, and a single door was just a double door.
Great, let's go do that.
Okay, and then did we decide how familiar are we with like the church?
With Parsk, I would give you seen casually. Someplace you have seen more than once, but which you aren't very familiar because you're only there once for a handful of hours.
So I would say we have around a 50-50 chance of getting back to the church. And then from there, it's just various degrees of away from the church. We don't make it there.
Lieutenant Geisen, you tell me, are you fairly confident you can accomplish the task of getting us the hell out of here and close to our destination safely?
And Geisen, just to add to that, is this a task that anyone could perhaps assist you with, or is this totally up to the randomness of the arcane?
Totally up to a roll.
Okay.
Um,
His roll or just a flat roll?
The DM rolls. It's
Okay.
It's a D100.
That's what I was trying to get at. Thank you.
What if we give you some tolls for these rolls?
A troll toll?
A troll toll.
A troll toll for the roll?
Well, we gotta stay out of the boys' hole, so it's important.
do we have any concept of how far Xin-Shalast is from Ars?
There is nothing that you have seen that would give you any indication of where you are.
Yeah, we don't know exactly where we are.
You know you're in the mountain somewhere. So you would that would narrow it down a little bit.
Okay.
Because there's only so many mountains in Borussia.
If we went to Sandpoint is quite a ways the opposite direction from the town where the uncle is, correct? Like from Ars.
Sandpoint was a good. I can't remember what Hearst was. Hearst was further than Turtleback Ferry, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And Turtleback Ferry was right about 2 weeks by boat. Or Turtleback Ferry is like 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days. It felt like 2 weeks because I was learning.
So I would say traveling normally by boat and horse, Hearst would be at least a solid 2 weeks away. A solid 2 weeks away from St. Paul.
Okay.
And Marigold being further up the coast, probably be about the same, if not further, because there's not a direct river route that can cut your travel time.
Okay, so our options are take our chances.
Oh, wow. Sour. That's very sour.
Like 50-50 of making it back where we want to go, and then various degrees of going away from there. And since we don't really know where we are now, I can't tell you how far away we're likely to be from the church or we can go to the only places that we're really familiar with enough for it to be more of a certain thing, and we might as well give up on. I don't want to say give up on the uncle, but we're going to be going well out of the way to get back to the uncle, to go to Sandpoint. So I kind of think going back to the church is probably the best option we have, considering that we want to get to St. Gendrick's uncle in a reasonable amount of time. But I can't promise that we're going to make it.
I mean, as long as you can promise we won't end up in the middle of rock or something that will murder us. Other than things we can kill.
I don't think I can promise that. I don't know. Will we at least end up in a location that's not inside a mountain or something? Or
you won't end up inside a mountain. You will take damage if you get mishap. So I would say the mishap option would basically be like you teleporting into solid rock, which would shoot you out to the nearest open area, but you would take force damage for that. So you would not end up in solid rock regardless, just how much damage you take. Okay. So no, you will not teleport yourself into a magma flow and die. You will take damage and not be happy about your experience.
Wow.
That is very sour.
It is. Liquid hot magma.
Liquid hot magma.
So
All
the
We will-
plan then is we teleport and we get back to Dwayne, hopefully. Then we fly to wherever. If we do a mishap, we figure out our location, try and teleport again. We'll figure it out then. The only other option is to go back in there and fight the dragon, right? Is there anything else we can even do right now?
I could explore the city, but that doesn't seem like a great use of time.
Yeah, other than going back to Sandpoint.
Directly.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But again, that's going to go so far out of the way from where we want to go. I mean, I guess we can try to teleport. If we end up off course, we can try to find some place safe to hole up and take a long rest and then try again.
I would like to recommend that we, as actual human beings, take a long rest. It's been a while.
All right, so I guess we'll pick back up. So you guys are standing just inside the doorway, discussing what you're going to do next.
Let's go get the missing member of our party. Laying sitting around somewhere.
All right, so all for taking the chance at getting to the church.
Yeah, it sounds like time is kind of on our side. I mean, whether we kill the dragon and speed up Kurzag's return, or whether we just wait for the jackass to show up on his own, we're going to end up facing him one way or another. So let's go help out. Let's go finish what we said we're going to do and help out. Oh my gosh, I just blanked on your name. Gendrick. Let's go help Gendrick's uncle.
His uncle Cadmus.
Yeah, that's him.
Dude,
Good job, Vicky.
That's impressive.
Wow.
In the town of.
Chris
Marigold.
Marigold.
Okay, good job.
His uncle is
Great.
married.
You guys are all paying attention.
Yeah. Okay.
In the town of Barovia.
No, it's the state of
Which-
Barovia.
Which district is your uncle from?
Probably Barovia.
72.
One of the domains of dread, yeah. I forget which one.
All right.
All right.
All
Take
right,
us away, Mr. Rich.
So back to the church.
all right. Let's give it a try. Let's go save Cadmus.
That is a 10.
Lordy.
Oh, Lordy, let me get my percentile dice.
Oh, Lord, it's
Where's
coming.
the percentile dice? I just need to get a actual D100. All right. All right, so
What does it even look like? I don't know if I-
theme casuals. What was that?
But I don't even know what one looks like. I wonder if I have one.
Percentile dice?
No, a D100.
It has 100
Really
on
big.
it.
Yeah, really big and round.
I do like them round and big.
And round, big, and bumpy.
Obviously.
My dice.
Wow.
No, I say big, round, and bumpy. I mean, he's got the right woman. Yeah.
All right. So, as Dyson casts the spell, everybody's vision fills with a white light. You get the pins and needles sensation that you've been feeling the entire time here intensifies, and you feel a rush of wind. And as your vision comes back to you, you are standing outside of an open door to the church in Huts.
Thank goodness.
You did you got lucky there. It was a very very good roll. But now that we're done, I would like to say if you look at the spell description, when it says familiarity, associated object means you possess an object taken from the desired destination within the last 6 months. Icky took bottles from the church. So if he would have handed you one of the bottles, it would have been 100% chance you went to the next spot.
Shit, really?
Yep.
Read the
But
fine
I
print.
wasn't. I was gonna wait to see if anybody remembered that.
Couldn't know.
Ain't my spell.
But then why would I remember that?
Yeah, we didn't need that.
Did anyone pick up the rocks from the place we were just at by chance?
No. Nobody picked up anything from Xin-Shalast before you left.
Okay.
No, we needed
There's
that.
a permanent circle there, so we don't need it.
Yeah,
Right?
you guys attuned
No,
to
as
it.
long as you, well, that's a permanent circle from the location that you went to from the
Mm.
church. So as long as you can get back to that room, it's 100%
Oh.
chance.
Okay.
But right now it is in the middle of the day. You
Is
are
Geisen pointing this out to us right now verbally?
What?
Are you telling us about the spell stuff?
No.
like, oh, by the way,
BT dubs, yo.
yo.
Well, the
Okay.
light flashed before my eyes. It showed me Icky's bottles.
And all of a sudden, the Eye of Odin opened.
16 titty fell out. There we go. There's one.
And then there was a bottle of Alizé.
He dropped his mixtape.
I guess the second fight we've avoided in our entire 3-month career.
Well, and that's the bad part about leaving. It's kind of forever haunted us that we didn't find out what the hell was behind that door. And
Mm-hmm.
but someday,
My guess is if we had opened that door and slayed whatever that thing is, we'd already be fighting Kurzog. You know, sending him souls and shit.
We could go back.
All right, so
Or we
as,
could just-
as you are standing outside of the church, it is 2:30 to 3 in the afternoon. It is late.
And much warmer.
What was that?
And much warmer.
Yeah.
It definitely is a
that's
bit.
outside.
It is still chilly because it is still late autumn, early winter, but it is not snowing. It is not blustery. You do hear that there is movement in the town, but there doesn't seem to be too many people, like any people right around you. And you are outside of the church that you were at not 14 hours ago.
do we see where did we leave Dwayne exactly?
Well, that's what I'm checking. I think he's to the south of the village.
And it comps to the south, southeast, if I remember correctly. No,
But
southwest.
point of fact, it was moved.
Yeah.
Southwest.
Well,
Well, if
Good
somebody
north.
could look at the map, you would see where Harse was.
What-
It's the map is like right out there.
What time does my pocket watch say?
2:47.
Does anyone fancy a 2-minute walk into the church, into the basement? We don't have to go through the map just to see if the magic closet is still there or if it has like apparated away.
We should
It's a good
definitely check
question.
that out.
Yeah, I like this idea.
if we do that, won't we get possibly trapped in there again and have to wait for your spell to come back?
We're not going to go in it, right?
But we
We're just
didn't
gonna-
know it was the room until we walked in and the door closed and everything changed.
Is that when the Fire Nation attacked?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason is we're like, I don't know, 130 seconds away from that area, and it might be worth checking to know if we can come back here later to get into the magic room, even
we
if it is a
know where-
one-way walk.
We know where the wardrobe is, so we should just check it out.
But is the witch on the other side? That is the question.
Mm,
Watch
not
out
just
for
the
that damn
audacity of
lion.
that bitch.
Also, is the priest guy still tied up?
Hopefully,
Charlie rolls his eyes really hard and starts walking into the church.
All right, Tarnan, you enter the church. You do see that the light of day is shining through the stained glass windows. There seems to be 3 people in the pews. There is an old woman, like because you were at the side door, so as you walk in, immediately to your left, there is an older woman kind of leaning forward, reading a book. 4 or 5 pews back from her on the same side is a middle-aged woman, middle-aged man, and 2 small children. And then on the opposite side from them is a younger man, and sitting next to him you do see the priest, and they're kind of leaned over, and you hear some hushed conversation going on.
Right. Turner walks up towards the front of the church.
Right. As Tarnan walks up, you notice the priest's head kind of glance up at you, catch your gaze, like catch the sight of you, go back down, and then kind of do a double take, and his eyes go wide. And then he doesn't, his eyes don't leave you, but you see him talking to the young man, and then he pats him on the shoulder and gets up and makes his way towards you. What is everybody else doing now that Tarnan has walked in the church?
Gendrick is going to throw a gold coin at the 2 civilians in the front and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we have a private event. Church is closed this afternoon."
Give me a persuasion check.
Yep, sorry, I had
No,
I'll
you're good.
assist him.
my tab's hidden. Persuasion. That
I'll
is a
assist with that because I'm apparently.
Oh, I should have assist with
I
that.
would say for this particular, just with the situation, I would say it would be a straight roll from.
Okay.
yeah, it's a 9, so I say it kind of awkwardly.
So, you toss. So you say it as you toss the gold coin, and it literally like it hits one of them like right in the head, and like kind of bounces on the ground, and they jerk back and they look. Well, because you said the front row, so that's actually the old woman. So it hits the old woman like right in the forehead as she's reading her book. It bounces off the book and falls on the ground, and she looks at you with just like a look of like, what the fuck? And looks at you and looks at the gold coin, looks at you, picks up the gold coin, kind of like rolls it around in her finger, shakes her head at you, drops it in her book, closes it, and gets up and walks out.
All
So
this is going on.
take a gold coin away from your inventory. And the woman is walking by the rest of the group, and she's just kind of muttering to herself as she walks past all of you to leave.
While this is going on, I'm gonna like head it to the group. I think I'm being quiet. Do you guys think they know that this is a false god that they're here worshiping?
So as Sanishi says that, the middle-aged couple with the small children, all of their heads kind of jerk up and look at you. And the woman reaches over and puts her hands on the ears of the small boy next to her. And then she leans in and like takes one off and says something to him. And then she reaches over to this the girl, pulls her in. You hear her whisper, and they all give you dirty looks as they get up and they go out the other set of doors.
So Icky will just kind of meander in, wondering why the hell these people are just like walking out all weird like. But he just kind of like comes in, just kind of like following behind Tarn and Grelda.
All right. So at this point, the only people left in the church is the young man that the priest was speaking to, the priest, and you. So the priest kind of comes up and walks up to Tarnan and just kind of looks at you. I'll admit I did not expect to see you again, especially not so soon. I take it, and he looks over all of the group. I take it your exploration went well?
Ish. Information was gleaned, adventures were had, none of us died. Just needed to check on a few things.
I will say it's good to see that you all made it out of your excursion alive.
Considering what we put you through, it's comforting to hear you say that.
What would the other option have been?
Death?
Oh.
Or one or all of us? I suppose.
Oh.
And then he kind of looks at you all. Who was the last one to come in? It would have been either Geisen or Grelda. So Grelda, he kind of looks at you and, my dear, would you mind closing the door behind you? And then he turns. As he does that, he turns to the and like looks at the young gentleman, just kind of nods his head and points to the door. And the gentleman nods, gets up, like pulls his hat a little tighter, and makes his way out.
So Grelda shuts the door with slightly more force than necessary, and then tries to like pull a pew to like keep it from opening again, misinterpreting that what she was supposed to do is to try and like barricade the door against some sort of incursion.
As soon as Grelda grabs a pew and starts pulling it, like that scraping sound of wood against stone just echoes throughout. And everybody turns and looks at you, and he's like, oh no, my dear. No. That's fine right there. Thank you. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but that will not be necessary.
She then tries to put the pew back where it went, and like the longest, most awkward, like the Men in Black scene where he's like,
the Men in Black scene.
Yes.
I want to get down there.
And then I could totally see Grelda like pushing it back to where it was, and then just like, pulling it a little bit and pushing it a little bit and moving it a little bit, like 4 or 5 times, trying to get it back to exactly where it was.
Yeah.
Well, everybody
Exactly.
was staring at her. Oh yeah.
And they may try and spark up a conversation, but every time they do, it goes.
See, yes, if this was a movie or a TV show, I could see Tarnin going, but, and then you hear it, and then,
Tarnin's like, my life is a TV show. God damn it.
all right, so Grelda finally stops and is pleased with herself at where the pew ended up, even though it is clear as day to everybody else not in the right spot.
Everything else straight. And
Yes, it is.
almost
It was like, yeah,
perpendicular.
it's here, like the next one's here and it's like this. But she's like, she looks at it, nods her head.
When you're drunk, everything's askewed. It makes sense.
She's not drunk, it's just Grelda.
And then the priest kind of nods his head, shakes his head, and then looks at Tarnin.
Tarnin casts silent image of himself next to Grelda, rolling his eyes and then staring at her, and then rolling his eyes and then staring at her while she's moving this thing back and forth. Then he turns to the priest. We just needed to check on a few things in the basement.
Does this? I don't know what silent image is, and neither is Grelda for that matter. So she's like moving and moving, and then she looks over and she sees, I assume, a version of you, and she jumps back.
It's a image of an object, creature, or some other visual phenomena that is no larger than 15-foot cube. Tarnin's not bigger than a 15-foot cube.
Nope. But then she sees that there are 2 of you.
So, yeah,
And
but
pulls out
do
her
you
weapon.
bother to notice that, or do you only look at the one that's standing right next to you, just rolling his eyes and then looking
well,
at you?
She did.
There was another man. There was another Tarnin.
It's basically that, because she does have sort of a malicial, like a battle sense of where people are, and Tarnin was
come
not
on.
right
It would be
next
the first
to her.
time Tarnin snuck around and disappeared from one side and showed up over there.
No, but she would look to where she thought he should have been
Oh, and
and
there he
pull
is.
out her weapon. No, yeah, so she's gonna pull out a weapon and attempt to attack.
Which one?
The one nearest to her, who seems the least likely to be the real one.
Sasha would just go right through it.
Yep.
And as soon as Sasha went through it, Grelda would know that it was an illusion.
Would she, or would she shout out at everyone roll for initiative?
I believe the spell specifically calls out that if you interact with it, you know it's an illusion.
Unless she purposely denies it. If she chooses to believe it,
No.
she can choose to believe.
But all I know is that it's an illusion. So she would probably shout out something along the lines of, "There's sorcery at work here."
Tarnin can't roll his eyes
Can
any
everyone-
harder, so the artificial Tarnin continues to roll his eyes and look at you,
But once
and then roll his eyes and look at you.
finally stops pushing the pew around, Geisen casts message and mage hand and says, "I think it's still a little off," and then points with mage hand.
Sean's like, how did we get into this?
This is your guy. This is your guys' time. You do what you want.
Will anyone rescue
The
poor
silent
Grilda?
image of Tarnin turns to Geisen and rolls his eyes harder.
Can someone please rescue poor Grilda, because she's not smart enough to get out of this on her own? If the answer is no, she's gonna attack again. I don't know what to say. Like,
I'll go and try to straighten it out.
But
Yeah,
No,
okay.
the one attack, like the spell specifically calls out that an interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion. So Grelda would know it was an illusion. Grelda would be smart enough to know that she might not know who cast the illusion, but she would
Exactly.
know it was an illusion. So I don't
Right,
think
so
Grelda would attack it again, but she might look for its source.
yes, but I don't think she'd find it. So she's probably trying to rally the troops for battle at this point.
Wouldn't she look at
Because
Tarnin?
someone's but what's Tarnin doing? She's already looked at Tarnin and saw that there was another Tarnin. There's two Tarnins.
Yeah, Tarnin didn't seem very phased by it.
And
He's too.
when
He's
Geisen-
trying to have a conversation with the priest.
When Geisen sees her attack the image, Geisen casts message and says, "It's okay. That's just Tarnin. He just casted an illusion."
So a voice inside Grelda's head that she doesn't trust tells her that this is totally fine and everything's normal.
You got message happen a million times. Grelda knows
Yes,
what
and-
messages.
And it
No,
starts
she
her every
doesn't.
time.
Yes, every single time Grelda misinterprets what message is and is confused by it. So if you would just say it out loud, that would have been fine. But no, you went the more magic route. We went from magic to more magic, and now Grelda is extremely confused.
Even Sanishi knows that message confuses Grelda.
Thank
Come
you.
on.
I thought she was used to it by now.
Mm-mm.
No, not even a little. No, every single time.
Sanishi
it's
is
been a
more used
problem.
to it than Grelda is.
Yes.
Kind of.
I mean, replying's still a little hard for me, but I at least am aware of somebody else's voice.
Nope. The first time it happened, Grelda was drunk, had just had coitus and was in the bath. So, yeah, there's no chance that she understands what's happening here. So she,
I was gonna say when Geisen sees that Grelda is still confused after saying that, then Geisen just looks at Tarnin and says, "This is your fault."
you're
You
right.
fixed
It is. It is absolutely. Do you say it or do you message it?
I just say it. Well, I assume we're standing fairly close together.
I mean, it's within like 10, 15 feet.
So yeah, I just say it out loud. Sorry.
I just want to say I don't want to be here as the person playing this character, but y'all have pushed me in a corner.
So have we fixed the furniture officially? Because I
No.
No, it's no,
still
it's super
askew.
askew.
I'm
Yeah.
Still
going in.
attacking phantasms.
I am going
so-
in to fix it as best I can.
Uh-oh.
I don't. Do
So
I need
you
to
go-
roll?
It's gonna get worse.
Do we have a no? How is there not a decorating roll available?
The
what?
decorating roll.
Decorating.
I can't believe they didn't foresee this.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
The
okay.
decor stat, like home decor stat, missing. Fail.
I would like to roll for Feng Shui.
No.
Tarnin, what do you got for us?
So, the resolution to Tarnin, where you attacked and cut Tarnin, slowly starts fading and melting away, and he starts falling over and laying into a puddle and slowly dissolving from that cut as the other Tarnin goes downstairs.
You made Grelda think she successfully attacked something that was attacking her. Well done.
Yep.
Yep.
You win. She won.
Everyone-
shot, she slayed the fake Tarnin and it melted away. And
But she knows it's an illusion. Everyone, we're being attacked by illusion versions of ourselves. Everyone, get in the center of the room, back to back. We can feel each other and know that we're here. I don't know what else to do. You want me to RP? We're RPing. That's what we're doing.
that's fair. No, that's okay. That is a fair assessment of how she would.
Yeah,
play.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm 100% me, the player, is on Geison's side. This is your fault.
Okay. Tarnin still goes downstairs.
He went downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Now Tarnin is out of Grelda's sight.
Oh god, he's been enchanted. Everyone, quick!
Oh, wait,
We have to rescue him.
Can Tarnin can actually go to? I assume that since the path downstairs is a hidden panel.
It was just an illusion.
Oh, it was right.
So it's always there. It was just covered by an
Okay.
illusion.
Never mind. Carry on.
Well, like the entire pulpit thing is.
There was not the entire pulpit. It was kind of like a U shape, and then there was a stairway that was covered by an illusion. So it was
And
always
liter-
open. It was just you couldn't see it.
And literally no one is gonna be like, oh, Grelda, please calm down. Clearly Tarnin was playing a trick on you.
Well,
Dead silence.
Geisen,
No one is doing that thing.
Geisen has noticed after he tried to calm you down magically, it didn't work. And then he sees that Tarnin is apparently not going to do a damn thing about it. So then Geisen walks over to you and says, hey, it's okay. That was just Tarnin playing a joke. It's okay.
Tarnin
No enemy.
Tarnin never plays jokes. I think this is even worse. Are you under control as well?
Since when does Tarnin never play jokes?
No, you play jokes. Tarnin doesn't play jokes. Geisen is our jokester.
Tarnin plays jokes. What? So wait. So what do you think? You think the illusion of Tarnin was some evil foe, and then another voice came to you and tried to reassure you that he was okay. That was another evil foe, and now Geisen coming up to you in person, assuring you that everything is fine, must also be an illusion and some other foe. Like, seriously?
I have to agree that she would, because you just said Geisen coming up to you in the third person. So she totally grabs onto that with all her might.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. I can only act in character here. And in character, everything is very suspicious. We literally just talked to a giant dragon. We teleported. Magic is everywhere, and that's very unnerving to Grelda. And she has no idea what anyone can do, but she does know there was a fake Tarnin. She tried to attack him. There was a man.
Geisen takes a deep breath and just kind of sighs.
Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
What can I say that will reassure you and make you feel better?
If she's already convinced that you're under some sort of persuasion spell, I don't think there's anything you can say. Oh my gosh. How do we get here? How did we get here? Tarnin, this is still all your fault.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Tarnin.
Meanwhile, in the basement,
I'm gonna see that, like, I'm gonna kind of get some type of vibe that, like, something really fucked up is going on here.
Oh yes, it's very obvious.
Oh, actually, sorry. Geisen does have an idea. There's booze in the basement.
I don't know, man. Last time we were in the basement and asked Sasha where the nearest booze was, it said nothing.
Oh,
I have already acquired the booze in the basement, and also that's exactly what a villain would say to me.
Okay, so seeing this like increasingly agitated, like I'm just like her beard is just bristling like a freaking pissed off cat thing. I'm gonna go over to you because I've been playing with getting the pier straight. Pew, whatever. I'm working on getting the pew straightened out. We'll keep an eye on them together, Geralda.
But we know they're bad now. There's something going on here. There is someone casting spells we cannot see. How do you know that was Gyson? How do you know that was Tarnin? Is that how they would normally behave? No.
I am going to pull out my wonderful, beautiful, wondrous mandolin. Do a big strum on it. I just cast.
She's casting a spell on you.
I know, right? This is not going to go well.
Well, except, I mean, you're familiar with me doing my bard things.
I am. However, now I don't trust anyone because 2 of my teammates have done weird things.
So I'm just going to do a strum and just. Okay. This is anything who hurt. Any spells in the area that heard that strum have now been popped. They're off.
This is brilliant. Grelda 100% believes you. This has absolutely, because she has no idea how magic works. So she thinks, yes, you can. I do hope you know that this is going to hurt us in the future when she assumes.
You saw me pull out my mandolin and strum it and float already. So.
Yep. Grelda goes, oh. And she looks, and there's no sign of the fake Tarnin. And Gyson appears, I guess, mostly normal.
As normal as he ever does for such a small thing.
And she hefts Sasha. She hefts Sasha and is like, all right, keep your guard up, though. There was someone casting evil spells against us.
I gotcha. We're going to keep an eye on these guys. I'm gonna.
Grelda claps you on the back, and because she's so short, it's kind of like the lower back, but it's like a good solid clap.
Then I turn my head.
Well done.
Grelda can't see it, but the rest of the group can, and wink at them, and trying to convey that I'm soothing the situation over, but I'm also aware that there's not really a situation. But Grelda's on high alert, okay? Yeah. So like any more shenanigans, you will reignite this, and then it will be your fault. Yep, and then it's on me.
All right, it is.
I'm so tempted.
So that's probably where we're gonna stop.